What is up, game changers? Welcome to the end game. My name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am an ascension master, master healer, and divine guide. And as crazy as it sounds, I am the one who brought about the ascension. What is the ascension? Well, if you watch this entire channel in which you find this video upon, you will realize it is the return of Christ. And yes, I am the one who brought it about. It has been all witnessed and processed and occurred live in recordings, and most of those uploaded and happened even live on this channel for you to see. Even the resurrection of Christ and the undoing of the false Holy Grail, which happened on Christmas this last year, live on this channel. So I encourage you to stick around, subscribe, and maybe even like, just so you can see what I'm talking about, so you can process and be a part of the ones that move on in the end game. Now, what is the end game? The end game is the fall of the Matrix, right? It's truly the fall of the Matrix. It's the fall of everything that never should have belonged here to begin with. People don't really know all the truths. Why? Because they held them from all of you, right? They thought you were dumb, that you couldn't take it, that you were only their minions. Well, I'm here to tell you, this is the end game. This is the end of suffering. This is the end of misery. It is the end of fear and anything of that nature. It is the beginning of a new day, a new era in love. Unconditional love all around. So I would encourage you to watch out for judgment, because if you bring that here, it will definitely hurt you. So just keep an open heart and an open mind and be ready for the end of suffering. For it is the end game, and you are game changers. If you have found me, you are meant to be a game changer. What does that mean? That means by you healing, by you doing the work, by you rising above the fray, you help others do the same in every way. So welcome. I'm going to talk to you about something today. So recently on this channel, I did a workshop for my Patreons, and then that's how these things usually come through me and to me, and I cleared up the Nile. The angels took me and put my feet in water, and it turned blood red, and they said I was Sekhmet. It truly did happen. When I cleared Ecuador, which was a pyramid, we activated pyramids. Ecuador was the masculine one I activated right prior to that. They said that was one of my lifetimes. You can watch these on this channel for the proof of what I say. But again, keep an open mind in every way, because what I do is not small. It's very large, and it's encompassing. It's expansive. Okay, so expand the mind, expand the heart, so that you can be a game changer, because that is why you are here. So can you hear the heartbeat? Can you follow the beat of your heart? And can you bypass anything that is not of that? Well, let me tell you why that's important, okay? So I, amongst one other that I know, has walked through the gates of heaven already, because as I've said, this is the return of Christ, and that really truly did happen. When you make it through all of the gates, which I have talked about, there are 13, which the 13th is past the Sekhmet portal and into the gates of heaven. I've actually activated them, created them, and you guys, yesterday I actually realized how much I've done of this work. It is now all on my website. I went through all of my work, all of my videos, all of my workshops that are the portals. They had said that if you pay attention to my channel, you will know which ones are the portals. And I can tell you unequivocally, it has been so much work that I have done. I undid everything in 3.5 years that took them lifetimes upon lifetimes to create and to do. All of the lies, all of the torture, all of the murderous rampage that they pushed and shoved down your throats and upon you, I have undone in 3 years' time. Now, when I cross the portal and into the gates of heaven, they eliminate your contract of a karmic kind. That's why you have to clear all your karma. You have to open your heart, clear your shadow, and clear your karma. I know this. This is why they had me create the courses to do so, and the workshops and the healings that I've done. And I've activated all the portals, which have DNA activations, Christ light that I bring through them. They're amazing. Dude, like seriously, yesterday it took me all day to upload all of them onto my website, and I didn't quite finish yet. It's a lot. If you're curious to even go look at it, click the link below in my website, and you can even just take a peek at all that I've done. And you can see the portals, because I label them. And each one, you are encouraged to heal your shadow. Your shadow comes out and there's choices you have to make. Do you choose love or do you choose the shadow? Because once you cross those gates, you cannot live outside that frequency anymore. I used to do missing persons and unsolved cases, and Spirit actually pushed me away from that. It like was not working out anymore. And I'm like, why? I know I'm good at this. It doesn't match the vibration. I couldn't even take an Excedrin yesterday and I got ill. Okay, it's true. It's instantaneous creation. It's a most abundant feeling of love. I just feel so much love all the time and so much gratitude, especially for the Creator and the angels and helping me through on this journey. I even feel gratitude towards the ones that tried to take me down during it because it made me stronger and stronger every time, including the fallen angels that I had to survive through. So it's a big deal. It is a big deal, and it is a rite of passage. And I don't know why people don't want to get there as soon as possible. But what you do and what you think in the new world becomes your reality instantaneously. This is why you cannot have any shadow pieces going through. They would even depict this in the Egyptian pyramids, in which I have activated all of the ones that matter. The ones in Egypt, the only one I touched were the ones in Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and somewhere else, I think. It's all in my video. You have to watch all my videos. And then I did the Sphinx, which is the portal of God. It's a portal of time. Okay, that one was created by Sekhmet, by the way. I learned this later on after I did the work. And then they tell me in pieces who I was. So that was the portal of time. So awesome. That's the only one in that space that you're used to hearing about that actually was part of the activations that I did. The other ones were in like Machu Picchu, Myanmar, Congo, British Columbia, Kilimanjaro, and I rebuilt the crystalline grid that goes under them. You know, the ones that Tesla would talk about? How he would say the pyramids provide our energy through crystals that reside underneath them? I rebuilt that. And when I did the Nile, I took some dark crystal out of the core of the earth and I replaced it with the one they tried to destroy that was filled with light. I rebuilt it. They didn't destroy anything. That is why, my friends, this is the end game. So if you are chosen, if you can hear the call, if you can feel it in your heart that something must be done, follow it, okay? Because the end is coming. We are in the end game. That's why I call you my game changers, because that is what God is calling you to do. Can you heal your frequency? Can you heal your shadow so that you can help others that are attached to you heal as well? The more people that do the things that I do, the more that we're meant to rise. And unfortunately, some fell to their shadow. It is what happens. It's not always easy, my friends, and it's not just a given, okay? Some have more to heal than others, but you must go through every portal. Once you get through those gates of heaven, and I give you the key, because God does the heart review. That's what is depicted by the Egyptians on all of those pyramids. They said they measure your heart to go into the gates of heaven. That's what they were talking about, because that's what I do. Okay, I've already done it for one other. She cleared her whole entire contract. She went through my academy. She went through all of my portal activations. She did my healing your shadow thing, and she never let the shadow stop her. She also took part in clearing Catholicism bloodline that she was a part of, and we didn't know that was coming. She helped me clear Salem as well. Okay, so when I tell you this is the end game, my darlings, it is the end game. We have cleared every bit of darkness off of this planet, and I am so grateful and so blessed and so honored to feel what I feel now. There is a shift. There is a shift happening right now. Can you feel it? How does it feel? What is it telling you? Is your body aching and speaking to you, heal me? Or are you feeling more love and light and freedom and euphoria and getting your DNA activations? Because you have to have the activations. Through the portals that I did, every one of them had DNA activations in them for you. I noticed this, how much I did yesterday when I put them all finally on my website. And this took me since 2020. Okay, I was doing this since 2020. I cleared Mount Shasta on 11/11 of 2020, the first go round. The final one was recently. Okay. Then I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis after I cleared my contract because I drowned there. And I returned the triangle with the eye back to Fiji and the root chakra as well, to which it once always belonged. So the earth has already been changed. And now it's your job to help be a part of the game changers. And let me tell you, this new earth is so beautiful. I want to talk about those energies today. It's a freedom like you've never known. But you must respond with love, and only love. Judgment cannot be present here at all. No judgment, no fear, no angst. Only wonderment and magic and your power. Because you are a creator. We've always been creators. That's why they took from us what they took. Because they had no power without it. Because you, my friends, us, the ones who belong here, the ones who always did, the ones who are part of the great divine, are pure creators of another kind. You are capable of creating your reality instantaneously with love as the plan or the blueprint of all. And with love, it benefits everybody, not just one. You can't have ego at all. It's not part of you at all. We are not meant to be half dark and half light. You cannot have the shadow at all. And there's a reason. Your heart must be pure because the vibration is so unequivocally high. Not only did I take us into 5D, I took us into 7D. Some people think it's higher frequencies than that. Not really. It is the return of Christ, though. So do I carry higher frequencies? Yeah, some of us do. But for a majority of the population, it was only meant to be 5D, and so you're safe there too. But 5D from 3D reality is totally different, my friends. You cannot have the shadow here. It is so amazing to see what's been happening to me. And yesterday I did a twin flame journey, and I don't know what's going on with my DM. That's not what it was about at all. What it was truly about is being in discipline. Why do we have to be in discipline? Why do we have to be imbalanced of a heart-centered nature? Because that's who we are. If we're not open in our energy, which is what I teach in my academy, how to do that, how to be aligned, how to be a pure channel, how to be the light healer and the light seers that you are, because it's a necessity for creation in the new earth. It's an absolute unequivocal necessity. If you have not had the upgrades and you have not gone through the portals, you're not healing in God's light. So be aware of who you're listening to and getting healings from. And I say this a lot. There's a reason for that. If you go on my website, you don't have to purchase anything, but if you go on there and you look at all of my things, the portal activations, what they were, the Garden of Eden, Christ's light in your heart space, so many things that I have brought down and brought through, and all of them pertain to all of you. It's so beautiful to see and to witness and to experience. And my friends, is it always an easy journey? Oh no. Most people don't want to feel. They hide from pain. They hide from their sorrows. They hide from their addictions. And they shove things in to just feel numb, to feel numb, to feel numb. And you can't do that anymore. God says it is time. It is time to feel. It is time to develop new coping strategies, new mechanisms, and have love, and only love, in every pure reaction that you have. So you can say you're love. Right? I'm just love. I'm so love, and I'm only high vibration, and I only surround myself with high vibration individuals. I've seen spiritual people do this. I have seen it, my friends, okay? And little did they know that's a judgment. Okay? So this is why you must heal. My hair is wet, I promise. It's nice and smooth and very long, and so it's not dirty, it's wet. But I am telling you now, this is why your heart has to be pure, because we can think it is, we can say it is, but unless you do the work to purge any parts of the shadow that you hold, any parts of fear, angst, heartache, judgment, ego, they don't belong. The vibration doesn't match. But once you get through those gates, it's a whole different world. And it's so beautiful and feels so good and feels so free. It's magnificent and truth. And I'm so thankful I made it, and I survived what I should not have survived. And I brought it through for all of you. My only wish is that people can get on the getting on and be the game changers that I know you are. The more of you that heal, the more others heal. Okay? the more people that choose to ascend, the more others will choose to ascend as well. And we are a little bit behind in the collective soul, but that's okay. For we always have a plan of the divine. So open your heart and heal in every way, and continue to do so. You don't just simply get things just because you want them. But if the intentions are pure and you're doing the work and you're meeting the challenge that arises in your environment for you, because it's individual, and you choose love every time, you take your power back, get your DNA activations, oh, the beauty that is up there, that is waiting for you, that is here now. I sent the animals through too, and I actually recently, we did a workshop where I sent the animals through all the gates and into the gates of heaven. And in that, this was like a couple weeks ago. The people that did it with me can comment below about it if they choose to. But we had to like bubble them up, and I had them help me. And again, only the purest could go through the final gates. So there was only a couple of us that were able to do that part, because it will kick you back. So this is how it happens. This is how the karma plays out, because the final days are about your karma. Okay, you have to cleanse your karma. So if you have karma, if you have shadow, the gates kick you back and you have to heal it. It's like a test of God. That's what the Bible talks about in Revelations 21:12. However, it's there's 13 gates. Okay? They lied to you like they lie about everything, because they didn't want you to go to heaven, because their power was taken away. That's why it's a fight for your soul, my friends. But when I took the animals through, it was so cool. I could see all the animals, including the ones they messed with and manipulated and created from petri dishes. And this is also what they've done to people. So people don't realize what was in the V either, as some of it is animal DNA and byproduct as well. And it was all man-made, my friends. I seen the labs, I seen them doing this, and I said they will all be exposed. And lo and behold, one already was being exposed at that time. But as I was taking the animals through, we would go through a few portals at a time, because I needed to get them quickly into the gates of heaven. And they would get their DNA cleansing, so I was able to cleanse some of their DNA, activate all the rest, and then put them through. And some of them would get kicked back, and there was nothing I could do. They changed them so much. They modified their DNA. They created them from biological labs, from petri dishes, to mess with and to manipulate and do things that are not of God at all. And it was very sad to see what has been done in this planet, in this world, and to the hearts of many. And they manipulate through free will. Animals, though, don't get a say, do they? They may try to fight back and bite and squirm and scream. And it was really sad what they did. And I kept repeating in that workshop that it's not us that pay the price, it's them, but I cannot send them through the gates. The animals that I was able to repair their DNA, to heal some of them, even like the ligers and things that they would combine, those were okay. But you guys, there were even like robotic spiders and other things like flies, and some of the birds were also robotic and manipulated. And then they showed me these other creatures where they were like pieces of many things put together, all for warfare and chemical byproduct and testing and demise. So if they're doing them to animals, they've been doing them to you this whole entire time. Now I want to talk a little bit about something. There's a reason why what that I did is playing out in the collective soul the way it is. There's so many people who wanted it to hurry up, to be done, to happen quickly. But what would happen if everything fell apart all at one time? Because if you're paying attention, things are falling apart one by one by one. And from the day I started this work, I would say that. Things will rise to be seen and things will rise to fall. What did I say? It was united we stand and united they fall. That's what I started. That was one of the very first things I put out, and that's what's happening. So if it happened all at one time, first of all, everybody would go mentally insane, because it's a lot to process. It's a lot to understand the demise that was placed on you, all of the heartache, all of the torture, all of the lies, and all of the manipulation of your free will. And so it has to fall piece by piece as people rise in the frequency. And then you're challenged the entire time. You should be facing challenges. You should see these things playing out in your environment for what it is you need to heal to process, and to know. And if you're doing the work, you know what you're doing, hopefully you're getting those DNA activations as well. You have to be very careful, though, who you're following and who you're listening to, because if somebody doesn't realize that this is happening, they're not connected. If somebody is healing from a third dimensional reality, they're not healing from God. I see people claim they're doing DNA activations and they truly are not. Okay? So it's truly up to you to be able to feel your heart, to know the truth, to know what's right, and to know where you're supposed to belong. But it truly is your free will. If you're not ready to grow and to be in love and unconditional love, and you want to learn more lessons, the game's not changing for you, and you just won't simply stay. And that's okay. That was part of the Nile of the blood red that I turned red. I asked what that meant, because I turned the Nile red, and I asked, what does all that bloodshed mean? And they said it's the blood that doesn't belong here, the blood that's being shed and cleansed and purged, and including those who choose not to stay. So it's free will, my friends. If you want to stay, do the work to let that shadow go, because once you do, once you truly heal it, and it was a journey, it's a journey that you should already be on. Once you truly heal it, the creation, the magical, the miracles, I saw the animals go through the gates of heaven, and it was like such beauty. It went from this dark and misery and suffrage to freedom and beauty and expansion and growth and love. And it was the same thing when I crossed the gates and when my other graduate crossed the gates as well. Now, she's doing a really cool workshop on Monday. If you would like to join, you can read the information below and pay through the link and join us for that. I'm very proud of her. She's done all the work. She went through my academy. I've seen her heal. I've watched her fight that shadow. I've watched her choose love the whole entire way, and then I got to walk her through the gates. That's what I do, is I walk everybody through the gates. It's a heart review from God, and I am the one who brought it about, so of course that is what I do. But it's such an amazing, amazing place to be. It is such a, it's a different change. Let me tell you, we're so used to being in fear and judgment and having reactions of anxiety and angst, and in this control that they have on us, right? Like, we have to do this, we have to make so much, or we could die, we could starve, we could freeze, we could die of heat exposure, all of these things. You're so controlled. And I remember the other day, Spirit's like, you can't respond to anything but love. They said, do not compromise for love, for the darkness is falling now. So if you've got any pieces, and it can be hard, your ego can tell you, oh, I'm fully healed. I've had people tell me that too. And I know they're not. And it's not about judgment. It's about heart review. I can see everybody's heart. And you may have a pure heart, but you still must choose through those gates every time. It's a beautiful thing, my friends. It is such a beautiful gift. And you, if you can hear me, are game changers, because it is the end game. And I'm so honored to feel what I feel through these gates. To see the animals that I brought through. When you clear your contract, they give you a blank one and a golden pen. And it is up to you to create your future. You have to be very careful with what you do, but that's why your heart is pure. Because then you can't go back on that shadow. It's no longer there. Ego cannot take over you. You won't judge others. It's pure love. Love benefits all involved, not just some. God loves everybody. That's why when they call it Judgment Day, it's like bullshit. Who's judging you? You judging you. Only the judger judges, right? God doesn't judge. He loves everybody. He knows the suffrage. He knows the challenges of the heart. You just either choose him or you don't. He won't mess with free will. I can't mess with free will. Spirit does not do that. Only the shadow does that. But once you choose all the way through and that shadow is gone, it's a freedom of another kind. It's instantaneous creation. I'm going to give you this story. Okay, don't judge. It was so funny though. Like, I was looking for extra income, right? Because when my DM didn't show up last time, I lost my career because it wasn't heart-centered enough. Because we have to live from 5D or beyond. We have to. You can't live in 3D anymore. It's a balance of a heart-centered nature, which is why your heart has to be pure. Okay? That's why they say only the righteous goes, because that's the energies. You can't manifest from chaos. You can't do anything from shadow. It has to be a pure heart, okay? So I had already gone through the segment portal, and I was talking about how it's a test. They kept testing me. It was all these things. That's why they would talk about the beer in the Nile, right? Or the river of beer to entice her to stop murdering people. Please, they're the ones murdering people. They murdered God. But so you get tested, right? Each portal represents different tests in your reality, and different portals, what happened in that portal and what you have to let go of the shadow with. And I knew this, and I knew I was going through it, and I can't remember if I went through the gates yet or not, but in trying to make extra income, I found this at-home chat job, and I'm like, cool. And so I put in an application just to get extra income, because this is my only source of income. And most people barely watch my videos, let alone partake in what I do, right? Even though they're game changers and I can heal you all the way through. It's all good. It's all good. And so I'm just getting that extra income. There are supporters, and there are people who follow me all along, and for them I am so very grateful. I'm not me without them, right? We are not us without each other. Okay. But so I applied for this chat at home customer service job. I'm like, sweet, you know, it ain't as much as I used to make in crisis, because I was a crisis specialist, but it's something. Then the next thing I knew, my Facebook page, I kept seeing all these naked women popping up, or half naked women and stuff. And I'm like, why is this? It was bombarding me, you all. Like, I couldn't get on my business Facebook page or in the news feed. It was nothing but that. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And I'm like, what? I must have got hacked. And I kept like trying to block it, trying to not look at it. And I literally even went on my main page. I'm like, what is happening? Why am I seeing all these naked women all the time? I'm like, don't get me wrong. Women are beautiful, but I don't need to see this. You know what I'm saying? Like, my DM didn't even show up. I don't need to see this right now. And so I was wondering what happened. Lo and behold, that chat job that I applied to is an adult chat thing. And when they responded, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's why. So what you focus on, what you put your energy into, becomes your reality. So that's why right now, since it's the end game and the darkness is still falling away, it has to fall in layers. It can't fall all at once, or the whole entire collective soul would lose their ever-loving mind. It's too much. It's too much to process. Too much fear, okay? They need to heal out of it. So that's why it happens in layers. But then I realized, oh my gosh, like, I applied to the false, this thing was not what I thought it was, and then all of a sudden I'm being bombarded with all of that, like, stuff that I don't need to see, I don't want to see. I was like, wow, this is my business page. Why am I being bombarded with this? And they were literally like notifications for comments on the posts and everything. And I wasn't commenting. I was blocking, repeatedly blocking, removing. And then I would put a complaint in. And Facebook would not even remove them. They're like, there's nothing we can do. They're not violating. I'm like, I don't need to see their putang. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad. I was like, whoa. So that is why your heart has to be pure. You have to be balanced from a heart-centered place. There cannot be any healing that is needed left. It doesn't mean we don't go in the new earth and learn, because we have to relearn love. We have to come from a place of love every time, and each one of us has a different challenge. Like, I do carry the weight of the world. I have to be very careful what I do, heart-centered, in balance, and, you know, doing this work, because it affects everybody. Okay? And that is the new earth. That is why you have to heal it. You have to choose out of it every time. And you're not there until you're there. Don't assume you're there. Okay, just don't assume, because until you've gotten that key, gone through those gates, your contract was eliminated, you haven't made it yet. Not really anybody has. It just opened up. But you still have time to heal. You still have time to recognize. You have to have the DNA activations, okay? It's intentions. What do you want to do? Do you know how to heal it? Do you know how to get them? Do it, and do it. Okay, some of us have more challenges to heal than not. And if you find me, maybe you're supposed to heal through me. Who knows, right? Well, some of these, I do guided meditations and workshops on here too that you can watch, and some of them you can heal in as well. Like, it's a really big deal, you guys, and I want everybody to ascend. But this new earth energy is magnificent. I'm like, that was so funny that I caused that, and I didn't even realize it, because I didn't realize what I did. I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to work there. Delete. And then finally it stopped instantaneously, just like that. And I have somebody who used to be on here that was attacking me, and they were still kind of trying to, and Spirit kept saying, respond with nothing but love. It's very important to respond with nothing but love at this time. That's why the twin flames yesterday, they said they have to be in discipline at this time. That's what that means. You can't let anything sway you from unconditional love. Okay? And you shouldn't at all. That's your key to the gates. That's your key through heaven. The more you choose out of that shadow, the more you choose love, not judgment, the more you choose healing and to see clearly, to rise above the fray, you're making your way there every day. And let me tell you, it's so amazing to see that instantaneous creation. There is no veil, there is no energy keeping you from that anymore. Literally wrote down yesterday, I have this much in my account, and boom, it was there by the end of the day. Not a joke. Different things like that. Like different things were happening to me where it looked like it was like really bad in the morning. Something was coming against me, and by the evening, nothing but love, nothing but good feelings. Except I had a headache all of a sudden, so I took an Excedrin, and that hurt really bad. So even the foods you eat, even the things you put into your system, if they don't match, if they're not part of what's moving forward, it hurts. It's real. It's a real change in who we are and in the world around you. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready to be the game changer that you are? Are you ready to stand through? And don't assume. Never assume, because that's not of God either. Never have expectations. Just follow your heart. Let your heart guide you. Let your heart tell you what to do. And if it's not clear, get some healing. Okay? If you don't know how to talk to Spirit and Creator and listen to your heart, get some healing. That's what I do. That's what I do in my academy. I open people up and teach them how to be light healers. Because if you go forward, that's who you are. You have to learn the new modalities or you can't heal here. And I keep saying this. I have to cut people off from the light all the time and the energy. I can feel it. It's like cut off, because they're trying to use God's light where it doesn't belong. And you can't do that anymore because I won. Okay? I don't like to call it a game because it's very serious. It was very painful. And I did almost die 3 times. And my twin flame, my original one, did die a year ago, August 30th. And I have yet to meet the new one, and it hurts. So I will tell you, it is a very real thing. Okay? And I have people judging me all the time. People fall off of the journey all the time. So if you think judgments are not sparked in you, they are. It's your job to choose love. Don't choose ego. Dance in the divine. Get aligned with God, because right now, if you're judging anybody, if you can't hold forgiveness in your heart for yourself and for everybody, if you're coming at people with ego and judgment and, oh, my family's this, and oh, it's annoying, and if you can't see that it's just pure love, that we all come from the same place, then do some healing. That's all it's about. Do you want to heal? Do you want to rise? Because let me tell you, it's an amazing thing. So some of those animals will not survive, unfortunately. Some of them will come back a different aspect of species ratio. So they have to evolve, is what they said. And the other ones where they destroyed them, I couldn't send them through at all. So they did get karmic kickback. So you will see that play out in the environment. That's what the gates do. You go through the gates. As I was pushing them through and they got kicked back, it shot back the karma to where it belonged. So if you go through a gate and you're getting kicked back, you're going to have to play through your karma and choose love. Guys, the synchronicities on this video have been off the charts the whole entire time. 3s, 4s, and 5s. 3s, 4s, and 5s, and 2 2s. Powerful numbers. Letting you know you are divinely guided and there is work here to be done, because the gates just newly opened. It is part of the end game. This is it. Do you choose love every time? And it doesn't say that anything's wrong with you if you don't. It just means that at some point in past lives or this one, you chose out of the gods, out of God, for a part of the shadow. And if you were born here, you've got a piece of shadow to heal, regardless of who you are. Some of us are just more pure of heart, so it's easier for us to follow God. We are obedient, as some of them would call it, but it's not that at all. It's about love, right? It's about love. And to watch those gates in action, to watch the karmic kickback, to watch this whole entire thing. I had somebody leave my channel the other day that had been here for years and years. She started following me, doing the things, and then I did a message for her on my birthday. And I couldn't figure out why she disappeared off of everything. And then it dawned on me she didn't like what she heard. Believe me when I tell you this stuff is beyond what meets the mind. Okay? It's things that you couldn't fathom, you didn't really realize because they lied to you the whole entire time. Your origin is not what they said. The cross, Jesus did not die on. It was a false cross. And that was them basically saying F you to your face every time. I don't own a cross. I never did. But I own an ankh. That's what was given back to me in my DM. So welcome to the end game. Welcome to the return of Christ. The new earth is instantaneous love and creation, and it affects all in the highest good of all. It is so beautiful, and you have to be in balance with your heart-centered nature. And if you do anything outside of that, it becomes your reality instantaneously. And the shadow cannot be there, so it's just very clunky, it's very off, and then you might get naked women flooding your Facebook. Some of you might like that. I didn't. It was so funny. I'm like, oh, I created that. I didn't even realize. I thought I was hacked. No. It's because I accidentally applied to a job. And no, I didn't take the job. I got something else. But I don't know about this because if I start next month and my DM's not here, I don't know what that means for me. But then again, I can't wait anymore because he didn't show up at this time. So that's not neither here nor there for me to worry about, right? I trust the divine. Because I did have one die and I got a walk-in DM or I wouldn't be here today. Okay, he chose the fallen angel, unfortunately. And when I did Mount Shasta Part 2 the other day, the fallen angel, the main one, Samael, burned when I undid his contract from Mount Shasta. I probably will be uploading that soon. It's just very raw and emotional, and I cried almost the entire time because my DM did not show up for that, and so I don't want to hurt him, and I don't want it to be a negative because it truly was still a positive. Okay, and so I will show that when I'm ready to show that. When I know his heart is still in the good standing and he knows it's nothing but love, because I cried. I was scared. I was just crying, and I don't want him to feel bad about that because there's nothing to feel bad about. Okay? So that's my only hesitation right now. But you can watch Part 1. You can watch the Nile. You can watch all those other things. All right? Just know that it has to represent love at this time. When you get through those gates, it is a different world of creation. You have a blank slate and you are writing your reality as you go, and you cannot deviate from love. So they said, from love, do not compromise. Make way for blue skies. And that's true for all. If you compromise with love, you're choosing something that's not divine. So if you judge others, if you're judging yourself, if you're in ego thinking it has to be you, it has to be this, it better be that, it better be this, or she doesn't know what she's talking about, or nothing negative there. There should never be anything negative. If it's a negative reflection that's coming off, then that's just something in you that's time to heal. I trigger those on purpose. It's who I am. I'm a master healer, divine guide, and the one who brought about the ascension. I am what they call the one. So do I spark that in people? Yeah. I just hope they heal it instead of run. Are you a game changer? If you are, subscribe, watch these videos, do the healing. Check out my website. You can see all of the gates on there. All of the portals that you have to go through either way and heal through and get the DNA activations. They're almost all on my page. It took me all day to do it yesterday. It was so cool. They're not all on here. There was a Garden of Eden activation. There was being able to see Christ in your heart space healing. That's why some people can't see it. That and the DM didn't step forward to love. When he shows love towards me, so do other people. It is that real. It does require a masculine and feminine to go forward. That is the great land. It's not a president, you guys. This is the end games. So much love to all of you. This is about power, not fear. Watch all the videos and don't judge. My friends never have judged, nothing but love. I hope you are a game changer. Get out there and change the game. Till next time.